for the M's, and he gets the honor of raising the 12th man flag that gets these fans all lathered up and ready for kickoff. Mariners would love to hear that playoff noise of their own someday. They now have the longest drought reaching the playoffs of all the 30 Major League Baseball teams. Toss won by Seattle. They defer to the second half. So Megatron's on the field first. He and Matthew Stafford take on the Legion of Boom right out of the gates. Seattle will kick off to Detroit. Amir Abdullah, rookie out of Nebraska, has some great open field speed. Set to take back the kickoff of Stephen Hauschka. Golden Tate ready to get a shot at his old mates, and he'll do just that from the 20. No return on the opening kickoff, and a touchback. So here comes Matthew Stafford, one of the 10 #1 overall draft picks who are now starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Beat up early on in his career, but he set Lion records, and now his 68th consecutive start here tonight, John.
He's proved he is extremely tough this year, Mike. He's been hit a lot. They've been very one-dimensional, critical that Detroit finds a running game and sticks with it.
First play is a run. It's Abdullah. It is Bobby Wagner and a loss, and that's the story of the Lions season. They can't block anybody. They can't run anywhere.
So many of their running plays lose yardage. On the backside, Bobby Wagner read it perfectly and ran through and stuffed it. You do not want to be in this situation against this noise on the road.
Zach Zenner, undrafted rookie. South Dakota State is in. No Joik Bell for the Lions tonight. He's out with an ankle injury. Stafford in some trouble. Gets it complete to Zenner. Minimal gain just to the 21-yard line. John, the communication is so hard in this crowd noise. How will Detroit try to handle it tonight?
Well, Stafford has to call the play first. He's got to make sure everybody's on the same page. You saw the struggle they had on the previous down. Listen clearly. Eyes on the quarterback. They're going to use a silent count in the gun, but Seattle's going to get off and rush the passer here.
Top of the screen, Calvin Johnson against Richard Sherman. 3rd and 9. Seahawks rush 4. Stafford goes that way. It's complete to Megatron. And a first down for Calvin Johnson at the 36-yard line. Important gain of 15 to continue the drive for Detroit.
Very good pass protection. It gives Calvin a chance to push down the field. Burst turn, balls thrown with great anticipation. Been waiting a long time to see Megatron against Richard Sherman. Stay tuned.
John, Detroit does this a lot. They bring in 77 Cornelius Lucas, so they have an extra offensive lineman in the game.
Look for a running play. It's a very predictable run formation.
First and 10. Here's a run with Abdullah. And he's able to gain maybe a yard and a half. Bruce Irvin the tackle. So here's who's blocking up front. The guys who have to play better. It includes Riley Reiff in his 4th year. Tomlinson, the rookie out of Duke. Swanson's in his 2nd year. So they're young up front. No Larry Warford again tonight with the ankle injury. Handling the ball, Ebron, an improving tight end. Riddick and Abdullah sharing most of the running. Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate back in Seattle, where he started his career with the Seahawks. Here for 4 years, 2nd year as a Lion now. Second and 8, and Abdullah, terrific tackle, one-on-one. The play is made by the former Lion, Cliff Averill. Let's talk about up front. Averill's missing one of his running mates, Brandon Mebane, out with a groin injury. So Jordan Hill, 97, coming on strong. He starts. Bennett's a good pass rusher. Wagner and Wright, terrific in coverage. Bruce Irvin will get back there and visit the quarterback as well. You know the Legion of Boom. Sherman, Chancellor, Thomas, Williams coming over after a couple of years in Philly. We put the fifth guy up there because there's a lot of nickel when you play 3 wide receivers. It's Marcus Burley, third year out of Delaware. Third and 9, here comes 5. Stafford throws complete, but a minimal gain as it's caught by Theo Riddick. And it brings up 4th down as Chancellor rallies to the ball and makes the stop.
Still a good series for the Lions. You get a first down, you create some field position, pass protection much better. Be very careful with this return man, Mike. Lockett.
Took a kickoff back, second half starter last week against Chicago. Punt return in his initial game. Sam Martin kicks to him. It goes all the way home at 62 on the kick, 42 on the net. And the Seahawks will take over at their own 20-yard line. In the hands of Russell Wilson. Back-to-back NFC champion quarterback when we come back. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by IBM. IBM Watson can help us outthink our biggest challenges. LiftMaster, the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. And NFLShop.com. Find the largest selection of NFL products at the official store of the NFL. 72 degrees here in Seattle. Sun will be up for another hour. Our coverage inside from Spider Cam is brought to you by DirecTV. Lions got 1 first down on the opening drive. Now Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense that has not gotten off to good starts thus far this year starts going backwards right away. Thomas Rawls was handed the ball, and Josh Bynes stops him for a loss of 2.
Fooled Russell Wilson completely with a blitz off the edge. Lucky that ball wasn't fumbled. Watch Bynes come onto the line of scrimmage and blitz. Wilson never saw him. And Josh Bynes welcomes the new halfback Thomas Rawls to Monday Night Football.
Second and 12. Detroit started the game in 5 defensive backs. Wilson throws complete for the first down. It is Tyler Lockett, who's out of bounds right at the 30. The exciting kick returning rookie out of Kansas State. So Russell Wilson's been starting ever since he got here. His 52nd start. Took him in the 3rd round. You know the trail. North Carolina State. He started the 1 year at Wisconsin. Has really found a home here. 23-2 in this ballpark. First down at the 30. Toss to Rawls. In for the injured Marshawn Lynch. He'll gain 5. Haloti Ngata, the former Raven, makes the tackle. So blocking up front has been part of the issue for both teams. The offensive line is 3 changes for Seattle from the Super Bowl. Okun, the left tackle, is the best of the group up front. And handling the ball, Jimmy Graham in the trade acquired from New Orleans. Fred Jackson, the veteran from the Bills, will join Rawls sharing the duty. We've already heard from Lockett, Doug Baldwin, and Jermaine Kearse, also top pass catchers. There's the zone read to Lockett, and Jason Jones stops him, John. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Zone read, a huge part of this Seahawk running game. Wilson had almost 900 yards rushing last year. It'll be interesting to see. I think Detroit is going to make Wilson hand the ball to this young halfback all night and see what he's made of. So far, they've done a nice job stopping the run. Let's see if they can do something on 3rd down and rush the passer.
It's 3rd and 5. The Lions bring 5. Wilson, who does so much out of the pocket on the run, put the ball forward to break the 40-yard line and picks up the first down with a running gain of 6.
It's so frustrating. You talk to every defensive coach you can meet. How are you going to contain Russell Wilson? How do you keep him in the pocket? Russell Wilson knows exactly where the first down marker is, and that is humiliating for a defense.
Here's Fred Jackson in the backfield for the first time. Play action to Jackson. On the run again, it's Wilson running away from the would-be tackle, and a great first down gain for Wilson. Travis Lewis in pursuit.
Mike, you get Jimmy Graham, the ex-New Orleans Saint, in a trade. You're trying to get Graham on a double move down the field. It's just not there. The protection isn't great, but guess what? Russell Wilson runs for 7 yards. He is so effective when there's nothing there. Some of these plays don't show up on the stat sheet, but Russell Wilson keeps you inoperable down and distance game after game.
Gain 5 to keep the drive alive. Gain 6, so they're ahead of the chains. But they fall behind quickly as Rawls is tackled by the pursuing Travis Lewis. Lions linebacking core missing one of their key pieces. We'll show you everyone here. Haloti Ngata, we mentioned already. Ziggy Ansah playing despite a groin injury. 17.5 sacks in his first 2+ seasons. So there's no DeAndre Levy again with a hip injury. So it's Whitehead, Tulloch, and Bynes. And in the secondary, Darius Slay beat for a couple of big plays against Denver. But the strength back here are the safeties. Ahead of Bowe and Quinn. Very good communicators, doing a good job on the back end for Detroit. And the pressure comes on 3rd and 5. Wilson gets away from Slay. And his pass is incomplete. John, they bring a lot of pressures, and that time Wilson's elusiveness kept the play alive.
I'll tell you, defensive coordinator, this Coach Austin, he loves to bring perimeter defenders. Here's a corner blitz coming off the short side of the field. Russell Wilson never sees Darius Slay, and it causes a dead play. But he overloads the short side of the field. Good coverage down the field and good pursuit by Detroit.
A couple of first downs for the Seahawks. John Ryan drops it nose down. Get it end over end, make it tough to catch. And it's caught by T.J. Jones at the 13 in his second NFL game. Jones fumbles as he goes out of bounds. Returned it to the 22. So 9 on the return after the kick of 40. Lions ball in a moment. Golden Tate was out for the coin toss. He's been named a captain by Jim Caldwell as he returns to Seattle, where he played 4 years. Signed with the Lions as a free agent last year. Said it's a bittersweet evening for him. He cherishes what happened here during his first 4 years. Without this organization, he'd have nothing that he currently enjoys, including a 99-catch season last year. From the 22, underneath throw to Abdullah. Nice spinning move for the first down, and Ameer Abdullah to the 34-yard line. John coming to Seattle. He knew Tate would be in the news. Became more so on a Detroit radio station. Told Matt Derry that the Lions offense is predictable. The other guys are telling us what's happening with our plays in 3 different games. And it's something they've had to talk about and deal with here this week.
Yeah, Golden said he was misquoted, misunderstood, but Seattle's defense very predictable too. He's going to know where they are. It's a matter of who beats who tonight.
Stafford on first down. Contacted as he throws complete to his fullback, Michael Burton. And the rookie out of Rutgers, the 5th-round pick. That's his first NFL reception for a gain of about 3 yards. So that's what Stafford and Calvin Johnson and Tate and Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator, had to answer all week. Predictability. Sometimes, John, in preparation, can formations and personnel tell you what might be coming from a team?
Yes, they just brought in Cornelius Lucas as a tight end. This is a predictable running situation. When you have non-versatile players, you become predictable. And Detroit does not have a tight end that can block, and it's caused them some tension and some tendencies.
Brandon Pettigrew's out again tonight. Here's Abdullah, got a good crease there. And Ameer Abdullah took the hit, spins forward to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Well, they got to block these running plays better. I know you want to stay with it, but we don't call running plays that lose yardage. First run of the night, Bobby Wagner runs through and stuffs Abdullah. Second run, you see Tim Wright at the point of attack. He misses terribly. Cliff Averill stuffs that one. 3rd down and short. This is a huge confidence builder if the Lions can get another one on the ground.
Rookie Zach Zenner, undrafted, is in front of the rookie fullback, who takes it, and Burton's not getting there. Michael Burton stopped on 3rd and 1 by Bobby Wagner. And Detroit, after one first down, will kick it away again.
You learn a lot about your running game in short yardage situations. And on the backside, somebody has to get this done. With get off and pad level, nobody accounting for Bobby Wagner on the second level. That's why he's one of the very best. Demoralizing when you have no success running the football. You become one-dimensional, and it's a hard way to make a living in this league.
Martin kicking again to Lockett. Running up. Caught it at the 20, a 38-yard kick. Well covered by Detroit, a return of just 4 yards for Lockett. Seattle defense gets the job done here. What else is new in Seattle? Go with the baseball playoffs starting tomorrow on ESPN. The American League wild card. The Houston Astros in the Bronx to take on the Yankees. Dallas Keuchel, the outstanding 20-win season against the Yankee team. The bats have gone quiet, so Masahiro Tanaka is going to have to come up big for the Yanks. Dan Shulman, John Kruk, Jess Mendoza, and Buster Olney will have the wild card game right here this time tomorrow. Thomas Rawls, first down run and a loss of a yard. John, you just spoke of the struggles with Detroit's offensive line. We're not exactly sending the Seattle group to Canton yet right now.
No, these are legitimate Cable guys, Tom Cable guys, Mike. They're tough, athletic men, but they're not real experienced. Right tackle Gilliam, a former tight end at Penn State. The center, Nowak, was a defensive lineman at Western Michigan. There's not a lot of experience on this Seahawk line.
Lions have 3 tackles for loss. First 9 Seattle plays. Fake to Lockett, setting up the screen to Jackson. Got a good block, and there goes Fred Jackson to midfield. And the veteran gets a first down. Gain of 26.
Excuse me, offensive line play takes time. You see right guard J.R. Sweezy. Here's another converted defensive lineman from college. Lead this screen beautifully. He pumps left to Lockett, sees the throw to Fred Jackson. There's Sweezy with a key block. First down, Seattle.
Seattle on the ball quick. No huddle. Wilson. He just throws it out of bounds and incomplete. They point to the tight end Graham, who was in the area, thus no intentional grounding.
There's Jason Jones, the ex-Seattle Seahawk. He's coming home also. And boy, these defensive ends have been trained carefully this week to keep Wilson in the pocket. Going to be hard to get these bootlegs against these Lions.
5 wide, middle of the field wide open. Bad snap. Wilson couldn't handle it, and he's brought down by Josh Wilson. Big loss for Russell Wilson as Josh takes him down.
I like this Terrell Austin. You're going to see Josh Wilson on another perimeter blitz. It's a bad snap. It's not handled by the Seahawks. And there's Josh Wilson, a very good nickel blitzer for these Detroit Lions.
Wilson, background a little bit in Baltimore, cross paths with Terrell Austin. Not credited as a sack, just an aborted play. 3rd and 22. Number 22 on the draw. Fred Jackson didn't go down from the first tackle. Second one brings him down. Yeah, we are pushing and shoving with Haloti Ngata and Justin Britt as the punting units come on for 4th down.
Haloti Ngata coming over to Detroit, learning how to play in a one-gap system. This is change for him. Let's hope Jason Jones is okay. This is a totally revamped Detroit Lion front 4, Mike.
Keep an eye on the starting defensive end. Ryan to kick it away. $50 yards on the kick. Jones on the return. Got spun around, and he's down at the 17-yard line. Detroit started the drives from their own 20, their own 23, now their own 17. Calvin Johnson trying to add to his total. Could become the Lions' all-time pass catcher tonight. The Lions have been here since 2009. It's the 13th meeting between these teams. There's Richard Sherman and Calvin Johnson. They're matched up top of the screen as this is Detroit's 3rd drive of the evening. Number 16, Stafford to Abdullah. A great job just sifting through the would-be blockers by K.J. Wright.
K.J. Wright wasn't fooled at all. Detroit brings two halfbacks in the game together, Abdullah and Riddick. They fake the screen to the left, and K.J. Wright reads it perfectly to the right. I love these Seahawk linebackers. Wright and Wagner. You'll be hard-pressed to find two better.
Detroit offensive line, when they get out of the core, looks very slow. Not a lot of athleticism on the edge. Second and 11, the Seahawks rush three. Stafford a middle shot to Eric Ebron, the tight end to the 34. And that's a first down gain of 19.
That's what Jim Caldwell told us last night. Eric Ebron is a top 10 pick from last year's NFL draft. He's made great progress. That's why Jim Caldwell feels good about this offense, Mike. He's got Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate, the emergence of Ebron. He just needs to get this offensive line a little bit of confidence, and so far so good for Detroit.
Stafford hit all 7 passes in that first quarter. No score after 1 on Monday Night Football.
ESPN, celebrating the legacy of Monday Night Football.
These men have coached in the Super Bowl. Of course, Jim Caldwell, Super Bowl 44 when he was coaching the Indianapolis Colts. His 3 years in Indy, second year now in Detroit. Pete Carroll, all the great success at USC from 2001 to 2009, a couple of national titles, and then coming here to the Seahawks. What a great rebuild this has been with Pete Carroll. 51 wins, now in his 6th season here. And the back-to-back NFC champs, winning Super Bowl 48 within a yard of winning Super Bowl 49. Second quarter begins. Lions 1st and 10. And Ameer Abdullah with nowhere to go, bounced off the Urban tackle and gets back to make it a gain of a yard. John, what'd you see when you were looking at the draft in this second-round pick out of Nebraska?
A lot of yards, a lot of quickness. Had 3 1,000-yard seasons at Nebraska. He can catch it. Very comfortable in any formation. I'm impressed with him catching the rock out of the backfield. Let's see if he's ready to pick up a blitz. Seattle's due.
Mentioned earlier, Joyke Bell is out with an ankle injury. It's been Javid Best, Mikel LeSure, Reggie Bush, Joyke Bell. Different leading rusher for the Lions each of the last 4 years. They hope Abdullah is going to be one of their stars going forward. Second and 8, pressure on Stafford, gets away and throws it away.
Well, there was the blitz, Mike. You get in second and long against Pete Carroll and these Seahawks. They're going to blitz, and they're going to blitz Bobby Wagner. Number 54 coming off the strong side, unaccounted for. There's a breakdown in protection, and Calvin Johnson, who's going after the new Seattle Seahawk, Kerry Williams, had a step. But look who's helping. Earl Thomas knows exactly where Megatron is.
Theo Riddick the back. Seahawks bring 5. Stafford got hit by April as he threw it. And let's see, we have a ruling of incomplete yet. It is ruled incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Terrible series. 3 bad plays to start the quarter in a row. And Averill, who had 21 strips coming into this game, almost causes a fumble. The ex-Detroit Lion, I'm sure he was circling this on his calendar for some time, Mike.
As Stafford's arm started moving forward, ball still in his hand, so it was an incomplete pass. Bad kick by Martin. That's returnable. Look out, Lockett from the 20. Turned it right in the middle. That hit was not late because he wasn't down yet. He was laying on 2 other Lions, so the play wasn't dead. So that's why he was allowed to be tackled that way. Riddick down there with the hit. Still dangerous. Lockett gets up. Have made a splash here by Puget Sound. Russell Wilson's great record helped in part by the best running back in terms of yards the last 3 years and the stingiest defense, fewest points allowed 2012 to 2014. One of the reasons plus the leadership that Russell Wilson has exhibited, and his ability, John, to get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, and be the erasers. And tonight, first time in his career, no Lynch. Out with the ankle, hamstring injury, I should say. Wilson got the Lions to jump, takes the free play shot downfield for Lockett, and the pass is incomplete. Rasheed Mathis in there in coverage.
Russell Wilson's been watching Aaron Rodgers. Hard count.
Offside. Defense number 92 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Voice inflection got the veteran Haloti Ngata clearly in the neutral zone. Seattle shows good poise. They snap the ball. They've got a free play. Why not take a shot?
It is possible, John. We just had a first quarter with no penalties. That's the first penalty of the game. Did you miss seeing Tony Corrente for the first half hour of the game?
No.
Nice man.
Yes, he is.
It's great to see Tony, but it's good not to have a flag thrown. The 38 run to the left with Rawls, tries to get away from the tackle, but that's the third time Travis Lewis has done a nice job coming in from that linebacker level.
You want to be a fullback in the NFL? Be careful what you ask for. Number 50 taking on this lead back in the hole. Rejects the fullback and makes the tackle. That's a big-time play by the ex-OU Sooner. Wow.
At Oklahoma, he led that Sooner team in tackles each of his 4 years in Norman. So now 2nd and 5. In spring 4, Wilson has Graham for the first time tonight, and Jimmy Graham has Seattle's 4th first down of the game.
It's a nice reset by Russell Wilson. He clearly wants to throw the ball to his right. He has time to reset and find Graham on a shallow cross. Good job by Jimmy sitting down against the zone and fighting for a first down.
That's been the conversation out here. Jimmy Graham, 15 receptions, first 3+ games. How will he get used? How will he fit in an offense that is run first? Lewis coming in, gets Wilson back at the 34-yard line. A loss of 10. Huge first half for a guy who's a core special teamer, stepping up in the absence of DeAndre Levy.
I don't know who's supposed to block him. Is Derek Coleman supposed to come across the formation and get him? I don't know, but Russell Wilson has been hit a lot this year. He's been sacked a lot. Hasn't been good enough, and Seattle still hasn't scored a touchdown in the first half of any of these regular season games.
Lions Jason Jones injured at the end of the last drive. Is back in there. Playing left defensive end. 2nd and 19. Wilson throws the slant. Caught by the running back Fred Jackson. And it will be 3rd and 12.
Let's take a look at this Detroit Lion pass rush. We've had so much fun watching them rush the passer over the years, but a lot of the men are gone. There's no Ndamukong Suh, no Nick Fairley. I look out there and there's some new faces led by Haloti Ngata, but don't take your eyes off Ziggy Ansah, number 94 at the bottom of the screen. He's got big-time ability.
3rd down and 12. Lions bringing 4. 1 comes clear. Wilson gets away. Wilson dancing, throwing. It's caught by Jermaine Kearse. Broken play, big play. Russell Wilson does it again.
There's nothing good about this play, Mike. The pass protection is not good. There's nobody open. It's all Russell Wilson. Jason Jones on an inside rush has him dead in the water. Then you see Ansah can't bring him down, and the coverage just can't hold up. What a play by Wilson.
34 on the game. Biggest play of the night. Wilson from the 24 takes a shot downfield. It's caught for the touchdown. Doug Baldwin.
They got a lot of stars in Seattle, but the shiniest star I see is Russell Wilson. What a play he makes on a scramble. He's not even out of breath, Mike. He gets right back in a huddle and shoots a strike to his favorite receiver, Doug Baldwin. There's that first half touchdown we've been waiting for in the first half by the Seahawk offense.
First one of the season. Broken play, set it up. Back end of this play, Baldwin with the catch and the tap as he beats Quandre Diggs, the rookie. 34 on the game to Curse and 24 on the touchdown to Baldwin. Stephen Hauschka on for the 33-yard extra point. And knocks it through. Was not pretty. Even the big play wasn't pretty. But the eraser, Wilson, made it happen. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Applebee's Original All-In Burgers. Gillette One Pro Glide Refill, up to 1 month of comfortable shaves. And the United States Air Force. Experience more at airforce.com. Lakes, the Sound, give you some beautiful places to build some amazing houses. It's a nice room to sit up there on the top of that roof and take it all in. 67 yards to get into the end zone. Darrell Bevels, the offensive coordinator. They're talking with Russell Wilson and Tavares Jackson, the backup quarterback.
Probably saying that was a heck of a scramble you made. Jiminy Christmas. What a play by Wilson. Is it frustrating to the line defenders? My goodness.
3 of them had a shot at him. The third one got there. A second too late. Ameer Abdullah muffs the catch and will take a knee. Detroit will again start back at its own 20-yard line. Talk about the scrambling ability of Russell Wilson. Away from one, away from a second, and a big play that led to the TD. That's what it looks like from the Space Needle, up in the Space Needle, looking back towards the stadiums here in CenturyLink Field. Lions started drives at the 20, the 22, the 16, again from the 20, and Golden Tate gets it in his hands. First down, a gain of about 5 as KJ Wright escorts him to the sideline. John, where do the Lions go on this drive? When you fall behind Seattle, the drives become really important.
I think they have to look to their best players. You just saw Golden Tate carry the ball. I'm going to try to get Calvin Johnson to line up on our left and go after Kerry Williams. They continue to put Johnson at the right against Sherman. I'd like to see him go after the new corner, Kerry Williams, and see how his footwork is.
Seattle's nickel corner, Marcus Burley, thumb injury, questionable to return. Abdullah with the run, and Ameer Abdullah gets the first down to the 31-yard line, 8-5.
They told us they were going to be persistent with the run. Their first 6 carries netted 6 yards. There's back-to-back carries. It gets Detroit a much-needed first down and field position to perhaps take a shot, but keep eyes on where Calvin Johnson lines up. Here he goes, top of the screen against Kerry Williams, the ex-Philadelphia Eagle.
Your point being Sherman doesn't always travel with the top receiver, so you can dictate that matchup at the top. Stafford, awkward delivery. Ebron with the catch and out of bounds. Look out, everybody on the sideline. They get out of the way after a gain of about 3 yards.
Detroit doing a nice job changing the launch spot of Matthew Stafford. There's a bootleg to his right. And he's going to throw the ball to Ebron right back into the flat. But you have to change the launching spot and run the football a little bit. Nice work by Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator of the Lions.
I'm sure one of the Lions coaches up here saw Calvin Johnson open in the middle of the field. If there's more time for Stafford to get to it. Abdullah left, Riley Reef, the tackle leading the way. It's the 40-yard line, couple shy of the first down. John, we talk about giving Matthew Stafford time. He took a lot of hits. The San Diego game week 1, then Minnesota, Denver. They played good defenses. He's been hit a lot. It's a young offensive line that has to come together quickly against some good competition.
Got a new center. Remember, Dominic Raiola played for about 100 years here. And Travis Swanson, in this noise and short yardage, is now the battery mate of Matt Stafford.
Empty backfield, 3rd and 2. Quickly out of his hands to Tate, catch and run, first down. Golden Tate lost the football after he was down. At the 44, drive will continue.
Contact resulting in a first down.
John, you talked about the offensive line, so the changes going into the season. No Rob Sims anymore, no Raiola. And then it changed within the season. That's how they started week 1 with the rookie Tomlinson over there at left guard. Injuries impacted that lineup. And Manny Ramirez to left guard, Larry Warford in at right guard. Warford injures his ankle week 3 against Denver, so it's another twist. Ramirez back to right guard. And the rookie Tomlinson, who they like a lot, first-round pick out of Duke, back in at left guard, where he has played a lot starting this year. It is Theo Riddick. A little shoulder, bounced it to the outside, gets to the 49-yard line. Let's pick up a 5, and there's a Lion injured. In the middle of the field, it is Ebron, the tight end. The Lions only have one other tight end dressed, Tim Wright. Brandon Pettigrew is missing his 3rd game with a hamstring injury. Injury timeout. Very frustrated Eric Ebron coming over to be examined on the table back behind the Detroit bench as he walked off. 2nd and 5. Amir Abdullah, the back. And Stafford lining up, throwing to Calvin Johnson on that left side you talked about, John. And it's complete. And Detroit has a 3rd first down on this drive. Let's show you what happened on the play. As Ebron's in a lot of pain on the sideline there. There he is, 85, and Travis Swanson, the center, rolls up and just gets that left knee. It was not trapped in there, but still you see it extend and bend. And not very encouraging look from the injured tight end. 2nd year. First and 10, Stafford, open, complete, and getting up is Lance Moore, rolling inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. So Detroit in Seattle territory for the first time tonight, a gain of 17.
That's a great play call. Watch Abdullah on this quick screen. All the Seahawks are going to converge, and they're going to throw the ball in behind Lance Moore. Great design, taking advantage of this aggressive zone coverage of the Seahawks. I like what Detroit is doing, answering that scoring drive by Seattle with a nice march of their own.
Good penetration by Michael Bennett inside early, but the Lions ran it the other way with Amir Abdullah. Tackled by Bruce Irvin, but getting to the 23-yard line. So let's think about this. Chicago came out here 8 days ago. 10 possessions, 10 punts. The Lions' first 3 possessions, 3 punts. So every time the offenses come out here against the Seahawks, with the Seahawk defense in the 12th man, 13 for 13 in terms of punts.
Yes, indeed, but Detroit has moved the ball, and they do have some matchups outside that are quite interesting.
2nd and 6, 4-man rush. And Stafford has his pass knocked down off the edge by Cliff Avril.
This is the alignment that has driven the Lions crazy. It's the double A gap look. 2 linebackers aligned in the A gap. They're both going to bail out of there this time. But Matt Stafford has been pummeled with different kinds of blitzes and bluffs from that double A look. Not surprised Seattle let him see it again.
You see 46.
Here they come again with it.
Yeah, John, 46 Will Tukuafu, normally a fullback, is in there in defensive line for Seattle. Got a couple of injuries, a little thin, so the fullback's playing defensive tackle. Stafford towards Calvin Johnson. Richard Sherman over there, incomplete, and Detroit will attempt a 42-yard field goal.
That time Pete Carroll wasn't bluffing. They bring the house. And Matt Stafford for years has thrown the ball up to Megatron against tight one-on-one coverage. That ball had no chance.
This will be a 41-yard field goal attempt for Matt Prater. Had an extra point blocked last week. Former Denver Bronco. And the Seattle defense yielding its first points at home this year in 6 quarters. 41-yarder there. Lions answer the Seahawks touchdown with a field goal. We hit town. We shine the Monday night lights on some youth football. We'll go to the 7th and 8th grade team, Northwest Premier Junior Football. Randall Morris, former Seahawk running back, leads these groups. 5 kids from the Rainier Ravens white team, 5 kids from their green team. As these middle schoolers showing their love of football and a chance for them to come to CenturyLink Field tonight. Great to see them as they start their football dreams and careers as well. The bouncing kick by Martin to keep it out of the hands, or delay it getting to the hands of Lockett. It was brought down to the 21-yard line by Don Carey. The Lions varying their kickoffs here tonight. And there are some of the kids. Chance to meet Pete Carroll. Pete was very gracious with his time with these young men as they arrived here tonight. Chance to see a Super Bowl winning coach, 2-time NFC champ. Guys were on the field before the game. And here they are enjoying the game tonight at CenturyLink Field.
Those Ravens look pretty good. Some good sized kids.
They got the Seahawk color scheme too. That neon green is everywhere you look around the Seattle area. Eric Ebron back in the locker room for the Lions. His return questionable with that left knee injury. Again, no Marshawn Lynch tonight, so Thomas Rawls is carrying. And Rawls gets to the 27-yard line.
Look at this Russell Wilson. I mean, they haven't done much offensively outside of a couple scramble plays, but he ignited this offense with a 360 reverse, and he went back the other way, and he kept his eyes downfield and threw a strike under intense fire. What a play by Wilson. Then right after that, good protection. He throws a pinpoint seam route to Baldwin. Here we are, 7-3.
2nd and 4. Wilson out of his hands quickly and caught for the first down by Baldwin. Great jumping moves by Baldwin to get to the 35.
That's angry Doug Baldwin. Highly underrated slot receiver. They just don't throw the ball a lot here in Seattle, but when they do, Doug Martin catches it. And he's very good after the catch. Tough, reliable. Much like Russell Wilson, Mike, he was just too short on draft day. And he has a chip on his shoulder the size of Mount Rainier.
Got this team last year. Now his 5th year. Another Cardinal from Stanford. Big run. The veteran Jackson into Lions territory. First down for the NFL's oldest running back at 34, Fred Jackson.
Well, Fred played with Marshawn Lynch in Buffalo, and he says, hey, if you're not going to play tonight, I'll take your role. I'll run behind Justin Britt at left guard. Nice job at the point of attack, and Fred Jackson trails only Thurman Thomas and O.J. Simpson in Buffalo Bill rushing yard history. What a nice pickup for these Seahawks.
In the 15. The 48, Rawls to the right. Minimal gain there for Thomas Rawls. If you didn't catch his story, Lisa gave you some of the background earlier. As you look at Marshawn Lynch out, Rawls got the opportunity when Lynch was injured in the game last Sunday against Chicago, and Rawls came in 16 carries, 104 yards. He started his career in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan, was signed when Brady Hoke got the job. There for 3 years, only gained about 300 yards, did not have a huge impact. Thus went to Central Michigan for his last year of school and ended up putting up big numbers for the Chips. 2nd and 9 for Wilson, who has time and has Lockett in the middle of the field for the first down at the 23-yard line. Tyler Lockett with his 2nd grab.
They love Lockett here. He's a very good route runner, not just a return man. In the slot. A beautiful throw again by Russell Wilson. That was well protected.
23 on that reception. Best looking drive for the Seahawks. Here's the pressure from Wilson. It was picked up, and Russell Wilson runs out to the right. Inside the 10, 1st and goal. Seahawks, Josh Wilson's blitz was picked up, and Russell Wilson went the other way for the big game.
Well, when you blitz, you better be careful who has the quarterback. Push straight up the pocket. There's no one there, and Russell Wilson is hard to bring down in the open field. Jimmy Graham isolated at the top of the screen against Ihedebo. Keep an eye on that matchup. That's what they've been waiting for.
They said they have to be physical with Graham in the red zone. Flag is down as they were going that way. The 2-minute warning came before the snap.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Well, they were trying to get there.
Yeah.
The clock
So
got
was I.
away. Fastest and certainly the cleanest half of football that we've seen all year in the entire NFL, not just our games. John, one penalty thus far in the game. It was a 5-yard offside against the Lions.
It's a great night, isn't it, Mike?
Last two possessions, Seattle moving it down the field effectively. Looked like they were going to Graham on that play before the 2-minute warning. That was inside and blocking as Wilson is brought down to the open field by Ziggy Ansah.
Got to be careful running bootlegs against these Lions. They're known for playing that wide 9 technique. They're outside the tight end. They're containing the quarterback. How about that athleticism by Ziggy Ansah?
First round pick in 2013, 3 sacks this year. At 18.5, the most of anyone in his draft class. Gonna try to walk on BYU and play basketball. Ended up being a track athlete, late to football. A lot of talent. Unabated to the quarterback or movement on the Seahawks, causing it.
False start. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
So Seattle had first and goal at the 9, John. It looked like they were going to throw that jump ball to Graham. Didn't get that in before the 2-minute warning. Now they're going backwards. So second and goal, and it will be a run. Jackson looking for space, and Ansah retracing his steps. Joins Bynes with the tackle. Minute 10 left, and Detroit will take a timeout, trying to preserve some time.
Ziggy Ansah is hard to block. Sheds blocks, uses his hands well. Long arms, wingspan. Can really cover ground, and that's a good move by the Lions. Taking a little time for Matt Stafford and his offense, should they get another opportunity.
It's his third and goal. Seattle gets the ball to start the third quarter. Seahawks at 1-2 after the opening 2 losses at St. Louis by 3, at Lambeau to the Packers by 10. They came home for that shutout win over the Bears. The Lions, the last of the winless teams in the NFL after New Orleans got a victory last night. Joining Baltimore and Chicago, getting off the snide here in week 4. Fred Jackson to the back, third and goal. Wilson hemmed in the pocket. And they're going to make it a long field goal now, a 53-yard field goal, as the Lions, after first and goal at the 9, have driven the Seahawks back 26 yards.
Seattle's in trouble with their pass protection. I don't need to circle anybody but all 4 of them. Wilson has been sacked way too often this year. A great job by the Lions keeping him in the pocket and making that 5'11" status matter. And Ziggy Ansah, who had some injury issues coming into this game, looks rather spry to me, Mike.
So the line of scrimmage pushed back to the 33-yard line. It will make it a 50-yard field goal attempt, a 51 really for Hauschka, with John Ryan to hold. Detroit using that second timeout, minute 5 remaining. And if Hauschka doesn't convert, the Lions will get the ball at the 41-yard line.
Careful of Haloti Ngata right up the gut.
The 51, Hauschka knocks it through. Strong kicker. Nickname is House Money. 10-3 Seattle. 51-yarder knocked through by Hauschka. Bringing up the top of your screen, Puget Sound over to the left. As we remind you from Seattle, Toyota halftime back in Bristol with Chris Berman. He'll have Boomer's best from week 4. Check in on those unbeaten teams. Insider update with Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen, which includes the head coaching change in Miami. Joe Philbin fired. Dan Campbell taking over. Dan Campbell played tight end in the NFL for several years, including 3 years with the Lions, 2006 through 2008. He caught, I believe, 3 touchdowns during his Lions career. Here's Ameer Abdullah from 4 deep, taking it out, trying to get some good field position, and he gets to the 28-yard line, lost the ball a little bit on the way down, but was ruled down. As the official comes in, Deshaun Shedd was trying to take the ball away. All right, John, 1 timeout, 55 seconds left for Stafford and the Lions.
Got time to get something, especially with Prater, a long-range field goal kicker. Riddick in the game as the protecting back, and he's a great resource catching the ball out of the backfield. Got to get some help at the bottom of the screen on Cliff Averill.
Stafford hit his first 7 passes tonight. Tied the best start of his career in a game, 7 for 7. Here he is over the middle to Riddick. A nice move away from Wagner, and still on his feet. First down at the 41-yard line. Theo Riddick turning clock to be under 40 by the next snap.
Great work by Riddick. Calvin Johnson, top of the screen against Kerry Williams. Can't lose sight of that matchup.
Seattle brings 5. Stafford goes that way, nearly intercepted by K.J. Wright. He got his hand up there in the throwing lane.
You know, in this cover 3 they play here, the underneath coverage is vastly underrated. They have 2 defenders that buzz to the numbers, and they read the quarterback, and they help these cornerbacks underneath. Great job by K.J. Wright. The length of Wright, 6'4", wingspan, his ability to cover a lot of space is impressive.
That's exactly what you showed us in the pregame. The ability of those linebackers to take away those interior throws. 2nd and 10. Stafford shot downfield, overshot Calvin Johnson, who had a half step on Williams. That's the one you were talking about, John.
Well, that's the one Matt Stafford has rung up 634 times, Mike. It's the matchup they have been looking for. Kerry Williams against Calvin Johnson, and you can tell Stafford's disgusted. If you want to beat Seattle on the road, you're going to have to make those kinds of plays, and Matt knows it.
Third and 10. Seattle brings 5. Stafford trying to get away from Clark, throws it away, flips it out of bounds. Frank Clark, the rookie out of Michigan, was in hot pursuit. 18 seconds remain.
They just have more pass rushers, Mike, than I can remember. Inside rushers, outside rushers, and Calvin Johnson knows that one might be costly.
Seattle has 3 timeouts to see if Lockett can give them good field position. And the punt is away from Sam Martin. Lockett goes all the way back to his 7. And that rocket Lockett gets brought down to the 16-yard line by Nevin Lawson of the Lions. 6 seconds remain. We'll have the second half, and then after the game, remember, stay tuned for SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt, with Steve Levy and company here in Seattle. The full wrap-up and Scotty's take on the day in sports. The one big thing, your SVP will get you ready for the Major League Baseball playoffs, which start tomorrow night on ESPN. SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt coming up after the game. Well, one of the Lions who's had a very good first half, Travis Lewis, is injured, and the athletic training staff from Detroit out to look at Lewis. Lions have already lost Eric Ebron tonight. Slowly coming off after the punt coverage is the linebacker out of Oklahoma, Travis Lewis. We mentioned DeAndre Levy out for Detroit. If there's been something missing from the Lions, it's that core in the middle. The loss of Nick Fairley in free agency is St. Louis. Ndamukong Suh, highest paid defensive player in the league with Miami. And DeAndre Levy, who's been injured with a hip injury. He did practice this week. Lions feel good about how he practiced. Think he has a chance to play next week against Arizona. But they've missed those 2 D tackles and inside linebacker as a core to start the season.
Levy's a great player. He didn't miss 1 snap last year, and can't replace a man like that. And we have a ball game.
Yep, 10-3 at halftime. Seattle's going to get the ball to start the second half, so no reason to do anything at the break there. It's a Seattle team that has held a halftime lead the last 16 and taking care of business in the second half. We'll see if they do it tonight. They lead by 7 as we join Chris Berman with the Toyota halftime. Here's a postcard for you, Boomer. Well, your best players have to be the best to go on the road and get a win. Megatron, Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford almost had him on one key play. He overshot him. The biggest play was made by Russell Wilson, who for the most part has been handled by the Lions defense. But the big play on third down set up the touchdown to Doug Baldwin. It is the reason the Seahawks at home lead the winless Lions by 7. Set for the third quarter, Mike Tirico, John Gruden. We'll hear from Lisa Salters in a little bit. The numbers so far for the quarterbacks, not too bad. Stafford opened 7 for 7. No wow factor. Wilson keeping some plays alive with the 25 rushing yards. And John, as we go to our DraftKings reset for this third quarter, those plays, those key plays, made and not made, are the difference right now.
No doubt, especially in a game like this. Russell Wilson has made the play of the night, and that's why they're ahead 10-3. This play took about 7 seconds. The blocking isn't good. He makes Jason Jones miss. He makes Ziggy Ansah miss. How about him getting hit as he throws the ball to Kearse for a huge first down? They follow that up with all goes special. He does a great job looking off the safety, and he hits Doug Baldwin for the only touchdown of the night. And Calvin Johnson on third down in the red zone, shut out by Richard Sherman. And right before the half, throw a long pass to Calvin. He's open. Ball's not thrown well. Stafford has to make a couple of those plays that he's known for down the field for Detroit to have a chance in this game. But it has been a slugfest.
It's perfect. Perfectly described. What it has been here tonight. Only one play run in the red zone. Seattle had a second play that was going to be run in the red zone, and that's where they had the penalty to back them up 5 yards. A little pop-up kick to try to keep it out of the hands of Lockett. And it's returned to the 36-yard line by the fullback, Will Tukuafu, who's played also some defensive line here tonight. Lisa, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, well, I talked to Jim Caldwell, asked him how to generate some more offense, and he said, obviously, they're a very good defense, but he said, you just got to keep working at it. He said, you know, we left some plays out there on the field, passing plays on third down opportunities, but the run, we got to stick with the run, he said. It's dirty work, but we got to do it. We're getting 4 and 5, 6 yards at a pop, but he said it's the big chunks that we want. That's what we got to establish, Mike.
We'll see that when the Lions go back on the field offensively. That pop-up kick to Tukuafu leaves Seattle with the best starting position for either team in this game. Thomas Rawls is running for the injured Marshawn Lynch tonight with a gain of 3. Rawls had 8 carries for just 9 yards in that first half.
Detroit continues to bring perimeter pressure. I saw Josh Wilson come off the corner again. They're trying to give Russell Wilson a lot of different looks and confuse this young offensive line. So far, they've done a nice job.
Linebacker out to the top. Josh Bynes in coverage will get a whistle killing this play as Darryl Tack tackled the rookie Rawls.
False start, offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Russell Wilson in the first half, Coach.
He got hit a lot. Some of these hits are concerning. Unblocked outside linebackers. Punished throwing the football. Gang tackled on a sack by 4 Lions. This is not your prototype size quarterback. They're going to have to protect him better.
So Fred Jackson's in the game, 2nd and 11. And Wilson going to Jackson out of the backfield, incomplete. Tough place to catch. Josh Bynes running out with the veteran in coverage.
And Darryl Tapp comes off the corner. Tapp drafted by the Seahawks 10 years ago. Hits him again. Just not good enough right now. From left tackle to right tackle. A work in progress. A lot of new faces. And on 3rd and 11, Lions got to contain Russell Wilson.
Ahead of the safety backs out of a blitzing position. Wilson gets away from the pressure in the pocket, floats it in the middle, and it's caught at midfield for the first down. Third catch of the night for Tyler Lockett.
It's unbelievable. The Lions use a stunt to try to restrict the throwing lanes. And he still gets away from Haloti Ngata. Gilliam does a nice job at right tackle, but that is not how you coach quarterbacks. Great job by these guys staying alive.
Watch Lockett especially.
Throwing the ball against the grain is not something you want to make a living at, but Russell Wilson sure has.
First down. Wilson looked downfield and was covered. Here he is again, taking off. Wilson got a first down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Fred Jackson slow to get up. Fred Jackson injured here for Seattle.
What a weapon he is. We said it earlier, 900 yards rushing last year. He leads the Seahawks in rushing this year, and Fred Jackson got rolled up out.
Yeah, Tyron Walker chasing Wilson, got Jackson injury timeout. ESPN's Monday Night Football from Seattle, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Burger King. And ESPNFanshop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. Back here in Seattle, Fred Jackson limped slowly to the sideline. Helping the athletic training staff. You saw he got rolled up on. Lynch out. Jackson on the bench. From the 39, they run Rawls. Good opening there. And he's down at the 34, gain of 5.
Well, it's a zone read. They split two receivers out, and they read the defensive end. This offensive line, I go back. They lost James Carpenter. He went to the Jets. Max Unger traded to the Saints. When you get your quarterback that $100 million deal, you can't afford all these other salaries, Mike. So they're breaking in some newcomers on this line, and it's been painful at times.
2nd and 4 for Seattle. Wilson trying to set up the screen. Pressured by Reed. Gets it to Rawls. It was cleaned up on the back end by James Ahedebo. A loss of a yard on the play.
You just get the feeling it's a matter of time before one of these late down the middle passes backfire. Take a look at Rawls, who's going to catch this ball, but it's James Ahedebo. He sees it all the way and delivers a big hit.
So field goal will be 53 yards. Third and 5. Wilson throws, and it's too high and incomplete, intended for Tyler Lockett. And here comes Hauschka for another 50-plus yard field goal attempt.
And Jimmy Graham very frustrated. Third down, any down. They have not been able to get their new prize tight end involved much tonight, Mike.
Graham limited to 1 catch. Had 1 against Green Bay as well, 7 last week. This will officially be a 52-yard attempt. Hauschka knocked one in from 51 before the break. Got that one too. So 2 field goals, 50-plussers this week when guys haven't made the clutch kicks. Hauschka has. Fred Jackson walking back. An ankle injury. He is questionable to return for the Seahawks. Seattle also now without Ricardo Lockett for the rest of the game. Shortness of breath is what the Seahawks medical staff and PR staff tell us. So that's a receiver out and a running back out. And really 1 running back and a couple of fullbacks still available for Seattle. Long kickoff. Amir Abdullah from about 6 deep. Brings it out, and he's shy of the 20. As Derek Coleman made the tackle at the 17-yard line. Astros and the Yankees start the baseball playoffs. We're going to have coverage all that day on SportsCenter. 6 o'clock SportsCenter live from the Bronx. Carl Ravitch and the Baseball Tonight crew getting you set for the Houston Astros' first American League playoff game. Dallas Keuchel, outstanding 20-win season, taking on Masahiro Tanaka of the Yankees. The Yankees and the Astros begin the baseball playoffs, and we'll have it for you on ESPN here tomorrow night. Of course, every baseball playoff game on ESPN Radio all the way through the postseason. Can the Lions offense get going? Down 10 in Seattle. First drive of the half from the 18. Stafford steps up, goes downfield towards Calvin Johnson. Coverage by Kerry Williams. Incomplete.
I give Kerry Williams credit. He comes to Seattle. He tries a completely new technique. He knows he's going to see a lot of action because he's the opposite corner where Richard Sherman is. But Pete Carroll loves these tall, rangy corners, and so far, Calvin Johnson has been a non-factor tonight.
There they started Johnson in motion from the right side going to the left.
Try to get him some off coverage. They're going to have to throw the football without Ibram. They have no blocking tight end.
Ibram out, knee injury. Run Abdullah, no gain. Michael Bennett gets in there and makes the tackle. Pete Carroll just effusive in his praise of Michael Bennett and the performance he's given this team now in his 7th year.
Oh, he's another undrafted football player that has flourished in Seattle. I give Pete Carroll a lot of credit. Ataba Rubin came here from Cleveland. Averill came from Detroit. Kerry Williams came from Philadelphia. They all love to play for Pete Carroll in this Seahawk environment. Bennett's a Pro Bowler.
Five rush, 3rd and 10. Stafford's pass is caught by Johnson. 2-yard shy, 3-yard shy of the first down. And Detroit will go 3 and out on its opening third quarter drive and kick it to Lockett.
They have the defenders that can cover you deep. They have the defenders that can cover you underneath. We've talked about it all weekend, Mike. That time Cam Chancellor all over Calvin Johnson, well short of the first down. Good to see Lockett.
Exciting rookie out of Kansas State. Already taking a kickoff and a punt back this year. Martin kicks to him on the run. 43-yarder, he muffed it. It's free, loose in the middle of the field. Who's got it? The Lions do. At the 46-yard line. One thing Pete Carroll has told Lockett, if you can get a running start, you can bring anything back. Kickoffs, or especially a punt like that. That one he wasn't able to secure. Van Noy had his hands on it first for Detroit. It hit him in the face mask. And the Lions have the game's first turnover.
Rookie returners. You return a punt for a touchdown. You return a kickoff 105 yards for a touchdown. Maybe sometimes you think every one's going to be a touchdown. But ball security, decision making with a 10-point lead, critical. And let's see what Matt Stafford can do with a sudden change. He's known for taking shots in this situation. Where is Golden Tate, the ex-Seattle Seahawk? Have not heard his name other than one carry on a reverse.
From the 46, Seattle brings the pressure. It's a screen to Riddick. Can he get past the first one? Yes, he can. Seahawks rally to the ball to limit the game to a half dozen. Manny Ramirez, the guard, couldn't get out to make a clean block.
It's a blitz, and Stafford has to beat KJ Wright with the blitz. And if it's not for Cam Chancellor making this tackle or holding up and allowing his troops to get there, this could be a big play. I thought it was a push in the back, wasn't it, Mike, by Manny Ramirez?
Yep. Again, John, Detroit's offensive linemen cannot get out and make a block. They are slow. In the story here, a few first games of this season. Zach Zenner is the back. 2nd and 4. Zenner with the run, keeps churning, and he's going to be very close to a first down. Flag down, right back where that hole opened up.
Holding, offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty, repeat, 2nd down.
The center, Swanson.
Jordan Hill got held. This running game has been abysmal for Detroit. 64. Swanson. Easy to see that one. Penalties, missed assignments. And no running game has put Matt Stafford in some terrible second and long situations. Here he is again.
Empty backfield with a four-man rush. Stafford throws. Incomplete, too low for Lance Moore. It'll be third down.
That's that play Matt Stafford loves. It's all go special. They're going to send 3 men vertical. And you're going to see Lance Moore down the seam with a chance to play this ball. Ball slightly underthrown, and Stafford and his receiving corps have not lived up to their billing tonight.
Lance Moore knows this offense is New Orleans time, where Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator, came from. Moore was with the Steelers last year, first year as a Lion. Third and long, they rush just 3. Stafford looking to take that shot downfield on a contact down there with Tate, and the pass is incomplete.
Penalties. Excuse me, Mike. Penalties. A 2nd and 5. You're trying to run the ball. If I'm Jim Caldwell, I'm going to have a hard time being any more patient with this running game. Just a straight go ball. You see Kerry Williams at right corner using the sideline to his advantage, and there's Cam Chancellor. Frustration.
Detroit able to get the turnover and do nothing with it. So Martin will put the nose down, drop it straight down, end over end, tougher to catch. And Lockett fields the 41-yard punt at the knock. The Lions have had it 7 times tonight. They've got 1 field goal and 6 punts. Golden Tate, no simultaneous possession in Seattle on this night. Tate's the lone receiver to the left. Wilson scrambles to keep it alive. The game's final play.
Going up, coming down, something come down with it.
Who they give it to? One guy goes up, touchdown. The other said no time.
Ball on the field stands. Touchdown.
You gotta be kidding me.
Did you push off?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The most bizarre finish you'll ever see. It was week 3 back in 2012 here on a Monday night. Golden Tate, of course, with the Seahawks at that point. Play known by everyone as the Fail Mary. And you bring that up to Golden Tate, he says, no, it was a Hail Mary, not the Fail Mary from his end. From the 9, the drive starts. It's Luke Wilson, the tight end, catching. Glover Quinn with the tackle. Gain of 5 to the 14-yard line.
I bet people back home don't know that's your ringtone. That's your greatest call ever.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I hear it every time your phone rings,
It's a
Mike.
good try by you. that was some crazy night. And I remember all you could think of was Mike McCarthy. And how do you get back on the plane? The replacement officials, that was their last game. The officiating work stoppage ended a couple of days later.
It's a long flight home to Wisconsin, losing like that.
Wilton Oafu, the fullback who has been a defensive lineman, is lined up as a receiver. Wilson's just running the other way, and Russell is stopped a yard short of the first down.
This is a play I saw Mississippi run against Alabama the other night. I'm sure he's thinking about throwing this ball to Jimmy Graham. It's a zone read. Wilson decides to keep it, but look at Graham.
Keep going, yeah.
As long as linemen aren't downfield,
Interesting. Yeah.
Jimmy Graham's in a pass offense he does not recognize, Mike.
30 yard. And because of the injuries in the backfield, got a lot of different folks. Both fullbacks are in the game. Russell Wilson is really the most effective runner for the moment for Seattle. 3rd and 1 throw. Luke Wilson. Glover Quinn stops him. First down, Seattle.
Look out there in the huddle. You have Tuku Afu, who played defensive line in college. He's playing on offense. We talked about their center, Nowak. Nowak played defensive tackle at Western Michigan. Sweezy played defensive tackle at NC State. Gilliam played tight end at Penn State. Tom Cable, the offensive line coach, one of the best in football at developing players.
Zone read. Thomas Rawls. Good first down run for Rawls. A gain of 8, but a flag is down. Back where that hole opened up.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And one is on Justin Britt. So what's the purpose of taking guys like that and turning them into offensive linemen?
Obviously, they don't like the linemen that college football is producing. He's looking for tough guys, athletic guys that have work ethic and toughness. And those are the men that Tom Cable likes. But look at Nowak. He's a Mid-American Player of the Year. He beat out Khalil Mack for that honor. Sweezy. Look at Gilliam. That's a lot of hard coaching because you're starting from ground zero and it takes time. But clearly Seattle's on the cutting edge of developing linemen from other positions.
The hold makes it 1st and 20. Wilson pressured. Got away again. Throws out of the pocket. What else is new? Spinning run by Chris Matthews. Man with that big Super Bowl. Gets the first down at the 37-yard line.
This is amazing. Their whole offense has been Russell Wilson scrambling. Another 360 reversal, and to his left, he finds Matthews, another undrafted free agent who had 100 yards receiving in the Super Bowl. How many undrafted Seahawks are on this team playing critical roles, Mike?
Well, there are 24 total.
That's unbelievable.
Undrafted of their 53, most of any team in the NFL. 1st and 10, Seattle. And on the edge, using the speed of Lockett, who was a step away from breaking a gain of 8, and Darius Slay is slow to get up on a Detroit defense where Haloti Ngata is out with a calf injury. Travis Lewis has an ankle problem. And now one of their top corners, Slay, is injured. Mentioned Russell Wilson out of the pocket. We've seen him so many times, even on this drive, being effective. He's led the NFL each of the last 3 years in passes thrown outside the pocket. Add a few more tonight, he's got 20. Wilson has almost 100 more passes outside the pocket than the man who's second on that list in Colin Kaepernick. Detroit's trying to keep him in, and he keeps escaping and keeping plays alive. Slay was helped off by the athletic training staff. Rawls runs. And Thomas Rawls has a first down at the 49.
Well, these are unbelievable plays he's making. These plays have no chance. But Russell Wilson gives every play a new life. I mean, these plays last 7, 8 seconds. It's a credit to Wilson and his receivers for staying alive. But he wears you out physically. These Lions are tired of chasing him at the end of the night.
He's out of midfield. Play action. Wilson. There he goes again. This time he's hit and brought down for the sack.
It's a good call.
Darryl Tapp.
Excuse me, Mike. A nice call by Darrell Bevell. Slay gets hurt. They go right after his replacement with a double move. You see at the top of the screen, Josh Wilson, who's the nickel corner, pressed into playing outside, does a nice job holding up. But that's 16 sacks for Russell Wilson in the first 4 games this year, Mike.
4 tonight. It sets up 2nd and 15. B.J. Daniels out of South Florida in the game. Here's a throw to Daniels in the middle of the field. 3 yards shy of the first down. B.J. Daniels, one of those guys who just hangs around on this roster, John, and does a lot of different things for the Seahawks.
They love B.J. Daniels, a former quarterback at South Florida. He's played wide receiver. They even moved him to cornerback this year. Last year, I think they activated him just so he could get a playoff bonus. He's one of the favorite Seahawks. Everybody on the team is pulling for him. He's excited. Good for him.
It's his first catch. Derek Coleman's the back on 3rd and 3. Lions rush 3, drop 8. Wilson trying to get it in the middle of the field for Luke Wilson, who's been featured more. And it's incomplete. And Seattle gets a couple of first downs, moves it to Lions territory, but they'll punch it away.
Wilson disappointed with himself there. That time he had protection. He just missed the throw. But you get the feeling sometimes he's so accustomed to running and scrambling, he's probably shocked he had time to set up and push up forward.
What do I do back here? That catch, by the way, by B.J. Daniels was his first NFL reception.
That's great.
We've gotten the stats as well. John Ryan very prolific in putting the opponents down inside the 10 with these kicks. We'll just get to the 11 as T.J. Jones makes the fair catch on the 32-yard kick. Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, the Seattle defense. Tough on Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Only 3 points tonight. An awesome city. If you've never been out here, always worth a visit. The locals are so proud of it. View from Queen Anne Hill, northwest of downtown. Space Needle, framing the big buildings of Seattle here tonight. Stafford, first down throw, Golden Tate. Try to catch and run, and he gets about 3 hard-working yards. John, the run game for Detroit. Tonight they have 32 yards. I can give you a number here. The Lions this year in, 15 quarters now, have 167 yards. Carlos Hyde of the 49ers in the first Monday night game of the year had 168 on his own. And the Lions aren't there yet in 3 quarters and 3 games.
Well, they got about 16 minutes to do something, or they're going home 0-4.
And Arizona comes to Ford Field on Sunday. 2nd and 7. Stafford trying to set up another screen. There was nothing there. With the back in the vicinity, you can throw it where he did.
Number 21 in the vicinity.
And it brings up 3rd and 7.
Well, it's the 3rd screen pass that I've seen tonight that Seattle has smelled out. 77, Ataba Rubin, the ex-Cleveland Brown, read his tip sheet. 3rd down and 7. Cliff Averill, the ex-Detroit Lion, at the bottom of the screen, is going to tee off.
So often the spots where the Seahawks make the big defensive play to flip the game. Stafford and Calvin Johnson, first down, 25-yard line.
Flag down.
Yep, flag down back by where they were protecting Stafford.
Illegal use of the hands to the face with sustained and pinned back motion. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Didn't give a number.
And the story of this year's Detroit Lions. False starts, holding calls, hands to the face, turnovers. Matt Stafford at quarterback. Jim Caldwell, an outstanding offensive coach throughout his career, has to be stunned with how this Detroit Lion offense just can't get it in gear, Mike.
Third and 14. His own end zone. Stafford in trouble. Shovels it forward to Riddick. And he'll be well short of the first down. The 16-yard line. Got hit up high by Bobby Wagner and Michael Bennett. And it's 3 and out again.
3 levels to this defense. Level 1 is a pass rush. Level 2, the underneath coverage. And level 3, their deep coverage. They're very good at all 3. Stafford has very little time to throw. And when he does, it's because they commit a penalty.
Lions have had it 3 times the middle possession because of that muffed punt by Lockett. And they've gone 3 and out each time they've had the ball. Lockett sent to the sideline to 33. Eludes the first tackle. Lockett brings it back to the 47-yard line. 14 on the return and the field position and all the momentum in Seattle's favor here with 28 seconds left in the 3rd. It was a playoff team a year ago, and if you think about the Lions in that playoff game against Dallas, they picked up flag as they were leading Dallas by 3 in Cowboy Stadium. Chance to put away really the game inside of 7 minutes. This was a very good team. A lot of the changes that have happened to this team, especially the O-line, not giving their best players a chance, and have run up against some good defenses to start this season, like these Seahawks. Wilson gets it to Doug Baldwin. Minimal gain of a couple of yards.
So one thing I notice about the Lions this year, there is a number of quick screens complete against them. Opposing quarterbacks completing almost 80% of their passes with these high percentage quick screens, and Russell Wilson is running out of backs. I never thought I'd see Seattle with only one back, that being Thomas Rawls.
Seahawks field goal, the only points of the third.
ESPN, celebrating the legacy of Monday Night Football.
In the fourth quarter here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Lisa Salters on the sideline. Two-time Super Bowl referee Jerry Austin up here in the booth with us. Marty Aronoff in the stats. Mike Black, Tony Granieri spotting up here in the booth for us. Our whole Monday team thrilled to be in the Great Northwest tonight. Wilson on 2nd and 7 to start the quarter. Out of the pocket, trying to get away from Jones. Keeping the play alive forever. Still moving, now throws on the run. Incomplete. Took 15 seconds.
Darius Slay, who was injured earlier in the game, comes back to play left corner, and he's probably thinking, I wish I would have waited one more play. They have him again. Jason Jones in hot pursuit. Here comes Gabe Wright, number 90. Deron Reed, 97. That's a scramble drill.
Backyard football. 3rd and 7. Nice ring pressure. Wilson has a throwing lane. He's got the first down with Jimmy Graham. Not targeted often here tonight, but at the 38 keeps the drive going.
How is Russell Wilson able to do this? He scrambles 15 seconds. He stands right in there, not even breathing heavily, and throws a strike to ground. Russell Wilson's a Terminator. I don't know if he ever gets tired, Mike.
You see the story for Graham. Just a couple of targets. Wilson spent a lot of time this offseason on his training, his fitness. He wanted to get back to a speed where he was when he came out of Wisconsin. Actually got his 40 time down. Flip it to Tyler Lockett. Ehedebo strings it out. It's a beautiful play by James Ehedebo. That's a heck of a story, John. Here's a guy who's a special teamer with the Jets, the Patriots, found himself in a role as a safety, has become a leader on this defensive end for Detroit.
He's all ball, this guy. Ehedebo can play in any defense. Great job containing the play and making a tackle. 31 years old, playing his best football in Detroit.
Second and 9, low catch, ball down. Ansah hit Wilson, tries to scoop it, and he does. Ziggy Ansah will be down by contact, but he got in there. What a play made.
Number 94 recovered the fumble. A player rolled over his legs. It is Detroit's ball, first down.
Great play made by the first-round pick out of BYU.
You run a zone read against Ziggy Ansah, he will punish you. And Russell Wilson should have handed that football off. I don't know how many more of these hits Russell Wilson wants to take on these zone reads. Hand the ball off when in doubt. But Ziggy Ansah has just changed this game and given Detroit life.
Russell Wilson fumbled 11 times last year. Seattle got every one of those back. Here, a Wilson fumble is a turnover. The second one of the night, both by Seattle. And it's another opportunity for Stafford and the Lions. Sent that hand signal over to the left and hands it off to Abdullah. Amir Abdullah will only gain 3 to the 48-yard line, and there are multiple flags down again in the backfield.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Defense number 51. This 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run and an automatic first down.
So that'll add 5. John, you talked about Ziggy Ansah. We mentioned him earlier. Such an interesting story. Guy only started 9 games in college at BYU. Was really a project, some thought a reach in the first round. In his draft class, he's the best D lineman so far. He came out of that 2013 group.
He's one of the best defensive linemen I've seen in the NFC. And on 1st and 10, Williams at the bottom of the screen against Megatron.
Abdullah trying to cut it upfield. Seahawks are waiting. Limited game for Amir Abdullah. Again, no Joique Bell for Detroit tonight. So the rookie Abdullah seeing most of the action.
I give the Lions credit. They have been persistent. But these 1-yard runs are killing me. Here comes Riddick, a receiving specialist. They need something out of Matt Stafford. There's where all the money in this organization is. It's in Stafford's right arm and Calvin Johnson. It's time for them to make a play.
Second and 9. Stafford throwing middle. There's Johnson hit hard by Cam Chancellor at the 39-yard line. Flag down back in the backfield.
Personal foul. Offense number 71. Had a player on the ground and forcibly made contact with him. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That's Riley Reiff, their first-round pick from 2012. Here's the penalty first.
Riley Reiff at left tackle. They chip.
It's the follow-up on the play there.
Unnecessary by Reiff. A legal shoulder hit by Chancellor. Terrible penalty by Riley Reiff. It's a third straight possession. Penalties have really hurt Detroit.
And the absolute correct call. Second and 24. Stafford, side sling, Riddick, no good. Bobby Wagner made the play, and John, these linebackers get to everything underneath, it seems.
Well, Calvin Johnson probably hasn't seen this kind of coverage in 5 years. Bump and run. The safety's not over the top either, Mike. He's normally getting double coverage. Tonight, he's getting Kerry Williams, who might just be the grinder. He has come in here from Philadelphia and done a nice job for the first month of the season.
Johnson's now on the other side against Richard Sherman. The 12s make all their noise. Lions need to get to the 37 underneath Calvin Johnson. Makes one miss. Not getting anywhere near the first down. Flag down, though, late in the secondary. And if that's a hold on Seattle, no, it's going to be, I think, the other way, back on Detroit. He was throwing on the perimeter.
I think they got Theo Riddick for a block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 25. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play is fourth down.
And Pete Carroll's jumped off that sideline right away at the official, thinking it would be a defensive hold and a 5-yard automatic first down. But you saw it from up here, and it will be another punt for the Lions.
How about Chris Richard, the defensive coordinator of the Seahawks? We haven't even brought his name up yet. Gus Bradley leaves. He goes to Jacksonville. They lose Dan Quinn to the Falcons. Here's Chris Richard. They shut out the Bears 1 week. They're not giving Detroit anything but a hard time.
Lockett makes the fair catch to the 14. Turnover turns into negative yards. This defense, 19 possessions, 18 punts forced. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Spectre in theaters November. And NFL Game Pass. Replay every NFL game all season. Start your free trial at NFL.com/Game Pass. Take a look down around the big buildings. Here down Pike Place Market. Great place. Walk around there this afternoon. Our coverage inside CenturyLink Field from SpiderCast. Brought to you, hi there, by DirecTV. You ever been down to Pike Place Market, John?
I have.
You have, huh? The 14 here is Wilson. First down pass. Jimmy Graham, third catch of the night. Gain of 6. You got a chance to go down there yesterday. A little field trip.
A lot of fish.
This is famously where they catch them. Yeah, and people catch them after they've been caught. Oh, look at this. Receiver coach getting coached.
I take coaching well. Watch this fastball fish. Tell you what, man.
Didn't look very smooth, but it was successful. Very good. Good hands.
I love Seattle.
For the 20, Lions blitz it. Rawls hits it. First down, Thomas Rawls to the 30-yard line. That was quite impressive, John. Hands it up. You're an old receiver coach, right? So you don't want to catch with the body. It's got to be a hands catch, right?
It is. You have to clutch that fish. They told you to look for the tail, grab the head at the same time.
Very nice. Very impressive. That's
nice.
Sweet. Good job here. Hands in good position.
And
Eyes on the ball.
Just wipe your hands off. Get on with the game.
Get out of here, you stinker.
That's a cool thing.
It's a fun day, isn't it, down there? It's a great spot. It's a great spot. Yeah, Lion hurt on that play, so we'll check out the injury. Another Detroit injury. It's Tyron Walker, the defensive tackle, who's been starting for them. They look at his left leg, and we have an injury timeout. Unfortunately, the cart is out there for Tyron Walker, and he's being taken off now. That left leg and ankle was in a really ugly-looking spot. No need to show you a gruesome replay of that ankle getting trapped and turned. And immediately they brought out the cart to try to hold the ankle in place. And Tyron Walker, who came over from New Orleans as a free agent, was starting up front next to Haloti Ngata at defensive tackle in a whole bunch of pain. So unfortunate for Walker and the Lions. They've lost Walker here tonight. Travis Lewis injured his ankle. Ngata was out earlier. He's returned. Eric Ebron. It's been a very injury-filled night for Detroit. Rawls carries. Tulloch combines with the tackle.
A lot of those injuries occur on the backside of plays, Mike. The offensive line trying to cut off these defensive linemen. They go low to the ground, and Tyron Walker's injury is going to be tough on these Lions. They are light inside. You see number 97 out there now, Karan Reed.
He had a high ankle sprain, inactive the first 2 games. Gabe Wright, rookie 4th-round pick out of Auburn. We'll see more time here tonight. 2nd and 8. Wilson with the throw, and it is caught. They're going to Graham Moore here, John, in this 4th quarter.
I remember Mike going back to Detroit with you, talking about the Silver Bullet Band, all the great pass rushers they had. Here's Jimmy Graham on just a quick out. But all the original band members are gone, other than Ziggy Ansah. Fairley's gone. Sue's gone. Willie Young gone. They're all new players.
3rd and 4. Hedebo shows blitz. Wilson reacts. And Russell in trouble. Got away from White. He lost the football again. It's picked up. And a big man running is Reed. And the Lions are back in the game on the 2nd fumble of the quarter by Wilson. Hedebo knocked it out.
Kudos to Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator of the Lions. He continues to bring perimeter pressures. That's a corner blitz. Somebody's got to be saying, hey, watch the cat, watch the corner blitz. James Hedebo. Who else?
It is a 27-yard return for Karan Reed, who we just mentioned. Drafted in the 5th round last year out of Princeton. So Wilson, who did not lose any of the 11 fumbles he had last year, has lost 2 here in this quarter. And Prater's extra point could make it a 3-point game. Offside on Richard Sherman. Interesting. Last week, the Lions had an extra point blocked from that same side to the right side of the kicker. Now they're going to go ask Jim Caldwell if he wants the ball at the 1-yard line to go for 2. You would think just take the 5 closer and make it a 3-point game here.
I certainly would.
Encroachment defense unabated to the quarterback. Detroit has exercised the option of taking the 5-yard penalty and trying a kick from the 10.
I just get the feeling Seattle's lucky to be where they are right now. They have fumbled a punt. That's the 2nd turnover by Wilson. He's been under siege all night. And other than a few scramble plays, There hasn't been much offense by either team.
It was Aqib Talib last week that came off that spot where Sherman is and blocked the extra point. And Sherman got in there decent as well. But the extra point good by Prater. And Wilson's 2 fumbles in the quarter. One has finally cost him. Caused by Hedebo. Scooped by Reed. 3-point game. Russell Wilson without Marshawn Lynch tonight. Saw the veteran Fred Jackson go out with an injury. So he's been doing a lot more running and scrambling and keeping plays alive, which has helped Seattle a couple of times in their scoring drives, but that time cost them a score, and now it's a 3-point game. Line drive. Lockett's going to get it in his hands quick and take it from the 5. Tyler Lockett, this time the Lions clog all the lanes. 24-yard line. There's been a lot of pressure on Wilson. What's been going on?
A lot of perimeter blitzes, and we used to have these pictures in our meeting rooms. Watch the cat, that meant corner blitz. Watch the fox, that's a free safety blitz. Watch a stinger, that's a strong safety. And the nickel is the nail. But if you're a receiver, you got to communicate. Hey, watch a cat, watch a cat. Somebody at the bottom of the screen's got to say, watch the corner cat. They haven't seen it yet, and it's causing real problems for the Seahawks. Terrell Austin is bringing nails, cats, stingers. You better keep an eye on these cats at the bottom of the screen if you're playing ahead of Bo and the Lions.
Well, that one gets to Wilson, and now the Seahawks try to protect this 3-point lead. Thomas Rawls. He gains about 4 yards on that carry.
See Josh Wilson right there? He's the nail. He's a nickel corner. And he's going to be active off the slot. That time, he shot his gun and made it one-on-one tackle. But Terrell Austin done a nice job of mixing it up. Look how happy these nails are. These corner blitzes.
There's Austin, second year as the Lions defensive coordinator, was the Seattle defensive backs coach back 2003 to 2006. 2nd and 6, Wilson looking for anything to open downfield. Going to try to get it himself. Gets out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Be 3rd and 3. John, he's running a lot. He's taking a lot of hits here. Is it because Lynch is out and Jackson's out?
I don't recognize the rhythm of the pass offense. It's a scramble drill every single play. Pass protection hasn't always been poor. Sometimes the Lions, who were a top 3 defense last year, deserve a little credit. But this pass offense completely out of sync.
3rd and a long 2. Toss Rawls. Blocked on the edge, but not going to get there. And Hedebo pulls him down shy of the 1st down. And a big 3 and out from the Detroit defense with 7:07 to go.
I love the way this kid is playing. Hedebo. He's a grown man. Toss sweep to the bottom of the screen. You see Caduce force it back inside, and James Hedebo with a beautiful pursuit tackle.
T.J. Jones back for the John Ryan punt. Great kick. What a kick. 65 yards. Jones took it back into the end zone. Gets out of there somehow. Tried to leap a tackle when he's downed at the 9-yard line by Kelsey McCray. What a kick when needed by John Ryan.
Hey, what you trying to say? I told you I'm not gonna back away because this time there's a price to pay.
Game for T.J. Jones, talking to Jim Caldwell. I want to bring Jerry Austin in. Could he have stayed in the end zone there, Jerry?
Mike, until he possesses the ball, it's still a kick. If he goes in the end zone and recovers it, it's a touchback.
So if he stayed in the end zone, they'd have it at the 20.
That is correct.
Instead, they have it at the 9. And here is Abdullah down in the 7-yard line. Loss of a couple here.
Michael Bennett, get him on your team. He can play end, tackle, nose. What a player he is. And the Detroit running game continues to raise eyebrows. Here's the 12th man, Mike, at their best.
Calvin Johnson will be bottom of the screen. 2nd and 11. Stafford looks and goes that way. Limited gain for Johnson to the 13-yard line. It'd be 3rd and 6.
I am just shocked at the technique change in Kerry Williams. That read step with his outside foot, down after down. He will not get beat deep. He knows where his help is. He has been precise tonight. And on 3rd down and 7, let's see if the Seahawks can rev up their pass rush.
Watch the play clock. Lions still in the huddle. All 10 Seahawks there in the screen. Stafford throws right, caught, and Golden Tate's on the run. Big first down for Detroit as Tate goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Pickup of 22.
How about Golden Tate? He doesn't do much until the 4th quarter tonight. Man-to-man coverage, number 35. Deshaun Shedd in the ball game gets beat.
Timeout for an injured Seahawk, John, sorry.
Excuse me, Mike. Beautiful throw by Stafford, and Tate continues to get it done after the catch.
Just saw Michael Bennett out of the corner of my eye go down for Seattle as he was trying to get back and join the play. It was Golden Tate's 3rd catch. They look at Bennett. Injury timeout. We're down in San Diego. 2-2 teams. Steelers and the Chargers. Phillip Rivers pulled that game out. Very few offensive linemen because of injury. Of course, Mike Vick in for Roethlisberger. Got Bell and Brown to work with that Steelers offense. Steelers Chargers next Monday night, 8:15 Eastern from San Diego. Michael Bennett down for about 45 seconds, walked off under his own power. Lions picked up their 2nd first down of the half on that last play. The other was by penalty. From the 35, Stafford. Complete to Tate. Gain of 3 for, Lance Moore, Chancellor on the tackle.
Zach Zenner with a big pickup. Back-to-back blitzes by the Seahawks. And Zenner picks up the blitz off the edge. You see those 2 linebackers in the A-gap between a center and a guard. They're trying to fool Detroit. But credit to them, the last 2 times, Riddick and Zenner have done a nice job.
Good time. Undrafted rookie out of South Dakota State out there picking up the pressure. Stafford. First down, Calvin Johnson, the 45-yard line. So we meet with players before the games on Saturday and Sunday before our Monday nighters. We asked Golden Tate about Matthew Stafford because he played with Russell Wilson. And he said, I wish that the Matthew Stafford that we see in the 4th quarter, I could see for all 4 quarters because he loves to close the deal. He's got a great look in his eye. Makes those tight throws in a big spot. Well, here it is, and here's a chance for the Lions, who never win a big game on the road against a good team, to get one and steal one here in Seattle. Amir Abdullah. Pass Chancellor. Abdullah hard running. Gained 8 yards.
Look at that Lions sideline. He runs right through Cam Chancellor. Physically. Gets it done for 7 yards. I like Abdullah. He's paying for every yard he's made tonight. Great time for Matt Stafford to take a shot. 2nd down, a long 2.
Michael Bennett back in for the Hawks. 3 to go in regulation. Stafford fires, and it's brought in by Tim Wright. Tim Wright, first catch as a Lion. First down, Detroit at the 20.
You can feel it coming. This is a gunslinger. Matt Stafford right down the seam on 2nd and short. Tim Wright gets a free release and makes Seattle pay.
Wright, who was with Tampa 2 years ago, caught 5 touchdowns with the champion Patriots, caught 6 touchdowns last year, was traded as he went back to the Bucks in the preseason, traded to the Lions at the end of training camp. Only tight end healthy right now. Zach Zenner the back, 2:15 to go. It is Zenner to the right. Zach Zenner grinds forward, and he gets to the 15-yard line as we get to the 2-minute warning. Lions on the move. Matthew Stafford has never won a game on the road against a team that finished the year with a winning record. If think Seattle's going to be good. This could be a big one for the Lions.
Here in Seattle and closer than a whole lot of people thought it would be. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Levy. Some of those so-called experts will join me on the GMC post-game report. Trent Dilfer, Steve Young, and Ray Lewis will break it all down. On SportsCenter, we'll also look ahead to the AL wildcard game tomorrow night. The Astros and Yanks, and Scott Van Pelt's one big thing. All coming up on SportsCenter immediately following the game. Mike and John, take it away.
All right, Leaves, thank you. It'll be second down for Detroit. Each team full complement of timeouts. 2 minutes remaining. Stafford is in all 5 of his throws on this drive. Zach Zenner remains the back. Lions have an extra offensive lineman in. Number 14, Zenner left. Goes forward, gets to the 11-yard line. Pete Carroll out there might use a timeout, and Pete Carroll takes one here to preserve time on the other side of this for Russell Wilson.
Zach Zenner in the game in a critical situation, carrying the ball, picking up blitzes. And in a short yardage situation, Mike, let's go back. Ebron, their starting tight end, not available. He got hurt. Timothy Wright, 83, is not a blocking tight end. They've been using number 77, Cornelius Lucas, as a blocking tight end. He's not in the game now. I think it's time for Stafford to throw the football to Calvin Johnson or Golden Tate against man-to-man coverage. Be looking for a hand signal.
You would throw down here on 3rd and a long yard.
I don't have a tight end that can block, Mike, and it's easy to get outnumbered. I would not be surprised if Stafford puts the game in his right arm.
They're going to have to take a timeout. The play clock started before they thought it was going to. Lions are going to have to use one on their own here now after Seattle's timeout. 1:51 left. Each team will be down to 2. John, Stafford wears, and as the quarterback, especially for a franchise that has long struggled at that position, Bobby Lane, Greg Landry, the only 2 really accomplished Pro Bowl quarterbacks until Stafford. Matthew Stafford wears a lot of the bullseye for what is wrong with the team, their struggles. They did get to the playoffs, as we mentioned last year. He's been the one under a lot of scrutiny. To come on the road to Seattle and pull one out with a game-winning drive would mean a lot for this team going forward this year.
Signature moment, opportunity for him. Wide side is to the right. Look for a sprint out to his right.
Third and a long yard, and they're going to throw. Stafford complete. Calvin Johnson to the end zone, fumbles it, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be a touchback if he didn't break the play. And it's ruled a touchback. Now a conversation.
Ruling on the field is a runner fumbled the ball prior to the goal line. It went out of the end zone. It is a touchback. Seattle's ball, first down.
And it's going to be that. Ball is hit and coming out beforehand as he's fighting for the extra. What a punch by Cam Chancellor to knock it out of the back of the end zone.
Unbelievable. The effort of Chancellor may have saved Seattle's season, Mike. And Calvin Johnson extending the ball for pay dirt cost him dearly.
And now that timeout that Detroit had to use there, John, to get the right people will perhaps cost them an opportunity to get the ball back with any time to do anything. So Calvin Johnson, your big guy, the guy who you pay the most, fighting for that extra yard, so close to the goal line. And Cam Chancellor, who at the 54-day holdout, comes up with the big play to punch it out. And as you said, very likely save the Seahawks there.
Ball security with a young halfback critical here.
This down run, Rawls. He is stopped, gain of 1. Lions take the timeout. We should be out of timeouts. Run the third down play with 1:35, which would leave the Lions approximately 45 seconds if they get the ball back and stop them. But what a play by Chancellor, John, who was the missing part here. They said that that room felt unwhole without one of their leaders back there. He had signed a contract, a 5-year deal, played the first couple, then held out, thinking he should get more. he makes a huge play there that, as you said, could save this game and more for Seattle.
Well, that's how they practice. They practice punching it, raking it, getting it out. Balls out, break on it. Get there with passion and fury. And Calvin Johnson has to be sick.
That was on the catch where he passed Herman Moore for most receptions, tied Herman Moore, excuse me, for most receptions by a Lions receiver all time. Rawls again runs, and Rawls close to the first down, doesn't get it. So the Lions will stop it with a final timeout at 1:34, so they're out of timeouts.
And this is a defending NFC champion handing the ball repeatedly to Thomas Rawls, a rookie.
That's all they've got.
That's all they have. Their center was a defensive lineman in the Mid-America Conference last year. They are getting some great game action under heavy pressure situations. I don't know how Pete Carroll does it. Helps when you have a quarterback like Russell Wilson.
Again, you're going to try to manage the clock here, maximize your time, so you wouldn't even think about throwing the ball in this situation in all likelihood.
You got to be careful of Russell Wilson pulling the ball out and keeping it. He's known to do that in obvious rundown situations. Detroit's got to make sure they're very careful on both edges.
Seattle gets 2 yards and the game is over. Lions cannot stop it again. Derek Coleman's that back. Even more of an indication it's likely a keeper for Wilson. 3rd and 2. He's rolling. He's going to throw it back across the field and end it with a throw to Kearse, who's out of bounds at the 18.
What did Darrell Bevell tell Russell Wilson to do on the sideline? What a gutty call, and Russell Wilson once again drops back the pass, breaks contain, sets his feet, and throws a strike. Not by design.
Only mistake made by Kearse is going out of bounds, but still they can take the victory formation here. On 3rd and 2, they gain 50 yards and close the deal. Such an odd league that the league is now about that, making a play like that to try to win the game instead of running for 2. And the Detroit Lions, who have found every possible way over the years to lose games, add another chapter to the book. Lions fans have this great tendency to see the bottom quarter of the glass that's half empty. And it's nights like this that add to their misery. And John, how many times have we seen Seattle in this stadium come away with a win like this? Not pretty, not statistically wonderful, but just enough to be winners again.
The bottom line of this whole organization, it's find a way to win. And when your quarterback and your key players make plays like I saw at the end of this game, they'll be hard to beat. Chancellor and Wilson at crunch time put Seattle a game out of first in the West.
And the Lions remain the only winless team in the league. You take it 100 times out of 100. If you were Detroit, Calvin Johnson trying to go in for a go-ahead touchdown to win the game, or at worst, 1st and goal, the 1 to kick a field goal. Instead, Richard Sherman's camp chancellor, Earl Wilson, the Legion of Boom, Earl Thomas, excuse me, come up with a big play. Russell Wilson does just enough on 3rd down, and the Seahawks win. GMC postgame coming up, then we're back to Seattle, and we'll have the Gruden Grind. All coming up in a minute here from Seattle. Hawks win 13-10.